Hello, friends. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. This is episode 6 of Wolfenstein 3D, as played by Gaming Wolf in his plays. Voluntarily played for your masochistic pleasure. I guess sadist pleasure and my masochistic pleasure. It's weird. I know. Though we're not exactly raising hell now, are we? Take that, October stuff. Now, we've done the Dark Secret, we've done Trail of the Madman, now it's time for confrontation. It's gonna be real hell, because... Whereas up... Oh, yeah, well, first of all, we start immediately with the guy in front of us. And the goal is to get to that exit, which is beyond those pillars. And we're gonna have to go around the super long way. How great among us. Emogus. So we, there's going to be a whole lot of lines with enemies in them. And we're going to have to go forward and back each little time for each one of them. Most of them white shirts, I gather. And there's still a couple here. We're going to quickly have to get the other two weapons to even have a chance of doing this episode without tearing your hair out. Did I mention this might be the hardest episode? So, episode... 4 was the tricky of the bunch. Episode 5 was kind of a breather, but still cramped, if conservative. Episode 6, we're going to throw everything at you, and all the levels are going to be extremely large. So it's going to feel more like a separate campaign altogether. Like the full breadth of the level design capabilities just came together on this one. We even had to use Bobby Prince for a couple of levels, and he's normally a musician, so... Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Oh, and more especially funny, when you get to the end of this level, there is a secret wall that you push, and it has a key behind it that you have to take all the way back around to this locked door. So enjoy running around a lot, because that's what's going to happen. Many of these alcoves have pieces of food and ammo. We're going to keep a close eye on that quick save button, because I'm really going to need it. Yeah, I'm trying to keep a handle of where I am. I think there's another push wall here, which might be why I'm kind of... Yeah, there we go. This one is needed, because it has... Well, if I didn't already kill a blue shirt, that's where that second gun is, so... Still good to have. You know what this reminds me of? This is like a Klingon ceremony where, like, you go down the line and each one's doing more pain to you than the last, even though it's roughly the same amount of pain. It's, an endurance test. So that's what this reminds me of. Only with guns. Instead of, like, cattle prods, which is arguably worse. This is just designed for pain, not death. So it's like, ow, suffering. This is where all the Beyonce fans ended up. We got sick of them, and we just piled them all around. We have lots of redundant lights. Probably because they only cover one tile. Although lightness is never an issue in this game. So don't think otherwise. Unless you're one of those thinkers that think otherwise, in which case, why? I should say that I'm probably going to be done with Wolfenstein 3D for a while after this one. But I'm not going to give up doing Spear of Destiny or its other things. But after this episode, I think you'll understand. And it's just, I want to get some other stuff out there that I've already done. It'll be quicker. Plus, Spear of Destiny is pretty huge. Like, it's supposed to be the size of 2 episodes, but each level is pretty much... Episode 6 feels like half of a typical Spear of Destiny campaign in terms of length. Maybe not in terms of difficulty. Like I said, I don't know if Spear of Destiny gets quite as hard as this. I'm also told that Episode 6 is harder than, like, Doom's Final Doom, the Final Doom pack, TNT and Plutonia, so those are 2 different kinds of hard. I prefer the cryptic kind of hard, though, so... If you need something figured out, I'm your guy! Plus, I think I was really running off of whatever I could talk about, and, you know, I feel like in terms of when I want to get off kilter, or in terms of any topic, I want to wait until I've conglomerated or accumulated some more nonsense for future videos like this. Oh, brown shirts, like, they mean anything now. You know, I think I'm good. I think there might... Is the chain gun in this level? I don't recall, but if not, it's going to be gotten in the second level, definitely. Got some prisons. Oh, okay. We got this little area with meat in it and stuff. It's prison meat. Oh, that's another thing this episode likes to do. So, there'll be a lot of, like, big, long rooms and such, but once you start firing at some guy, there's going to be a lot of other guys that are wandering around for quite a while. That's the main draw of this episode, is a lot of wandering dudes, and when they start wandering, it's just as bad as having a mutant around, but at least they still take time to shoot up first. Unlike mutants. Because fuck that. That's the other thing. I know Spirit Destiny has mutants in just kind of wherever when you start getting towards like halfway the game, so just like, be careful. Bring a gun with you. More! Give me more pain! Pain for the pain gods! And we're going down the aisle. And in this aisle, we have milkmen. And in this aisle, the lactose-intolerant milkmen. And in this aisle, the soy milkmen. And finally, the almond milkmen? I guess they're not here today. Oh, wait, there he is. No chocolate milkmen. Unfortunately. I guess that would be the Black Panther of milk if I were to compare it to this. So, nope. We ain't going there. Yeah, it's weird having to be able to shoot through corners because, what do you call that? Ray tracing. Yeah, that's my name. Ray Tracer. Oh yeah, before you get any ideas, I'm not gonna do like, I don't do like historical pieces on video games. I mean, I'm sure maybe if I could, but that involves more research than just being knowledgeable about what software is and how to do stuff. To look up the development and stuff, you really have to go into it. But more to the point, I mean, is don't call me the authority on like every possible thing in video games. I mean, I'm very helpful, but I mean, you know, there's always going to be a gap. So, I think that's true with anyone who calls themselves, or anyone who is a legitimate scientist, not calls himself a scientist. Everyone does science to some degree, but I mean, to be a legit scientist, you have to be able to accept that you might never find the truth, but you get closer to it all the time. That's what I'm saying about my video games. Play through things. I don't know, I just thought about that. I mean, I've seen some reviews make mistakes all the time, or video essays, which are not even trying to be historical anyway, but are just leaving the question. Of course. But yeah. Yeah, never say you can never play Wolfenstein 3D. You know what, though? I don't actually recommend it for the average person. Go play Doom instead. Doom holds up very well. This game doesn't. I play it so you don't have to, you know. In fact, anything that's... Actually, there's one game that's like Wolfenstein 3D I could recommend. And it's not Rise of the Triad. I think it's Blakestone I would recommend. But just because it's overlooked, I'd still recommend stuff that isn't in this engine. Anything Doom and, like, the Quake stuff I recommend. This, I can't. It didn't age too well. I mean, it was a necessary component of, you know, game idea development, but not just in the limitations, but in the level design too. And that's how I feel. I don't want to feel like, oh, you sucked hard, that's why you don't like it. No, trust me. There's some flaws in the level design. But as long as it's not impossible, I'll do it. Don't ever try to make me do a game with outside tools. I won't accept that. Unless it's like writing down stuff for reference. Because that's allowed. You ever draw up maps of something you're doing? I've done it. Normally for Zelda. Because I don't know. Because really, it would be good in older Zelda games is if they give you a proper overworld map. That's why I don't play the NES Metroid or the Game Boy Metroid, the one that had a remake. So play that remake. But they didn't have maps. I'm talking about the common theme of games not having maps, and they really should have had them. Blakestone does have maps, though. That's why I'm saying that might be more up your alley to actually try, even though it's a harder game. It is a fairer game, I should say. But it's a harder game. That's for damn sure. Some might even call it the hardest DOS game, and that's saying a lot. Because I always thought the hardest DOS game was, like, Blood. Oh yeah, Blood playthrough someday, when I have all the kinks worked out on that. Mostly the gameplay altering glitches. That's the big one. As well as making sure you have the right versions of stuff and everything like that, you know. Okay, this aisle of brown shirts isn't too bad, except these guys come out the side because there isn't actually a door there, so they were just waiting for me. This episode's like that. Yeah, I think I've already passed the hard part of this, which is those 2 long blue lines of madness. Oh, he got me. Luckily, I have exactly 50% health, for which to use 50% more. I'm gonna have to walk 900 miles, but then I might walk 900 more. The original walking simulator, yeah. Yeah, I know that's a mockery term, but it's just more like a genre that doesn't need to define itself. It's like a lot of programs like I try out, or games or whatever that I try out on like itch.io or like maybe IndieDB or TigSource or some other stuff, where all the old freeware sites are. Like, some of the stuff isn't even necessarily games or visual novels. They're just kind of like, I don't want to call it applications or software. It kind of invokes an immersive experience without actually being a game. Digital art in its most interactive or not so interactive form. You know, where all the weird shit is? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's a necessary part of the internet. Alright, I have my key. I'm going to go back all the way to that locked door. You remember where it was? That's right. Time to go all the way back. Because I think that might be where the chain gun is. That's why I'm doing this. Also because I think there's more enemies back there too. It's a good plan for me and for you. Get him some help with Pepto-Bismol. Oh, barrels. Yeah. Trying to run while strafing doesn't really work in cramped locations. What I recommend is just kind of constantly holding the move button while putting your mouse around until your dude finally gets through the damn thing. Because that's what's going to happen. Please, I need to find the door. If I strafe faster, I can find it. Strafe. Oh, yeah. So, I think people... I wonder if I'm qualified to LP Strife. I would stream Strife. It's like a Doom RPG thing. I don't mean how Doom is an RPG now. I mean, like, it's an RPG in the Doom engine, so it's on the level of, like... Well, not quite BioShock, because that is a much better game. I just mean, you know, RPG elements in basically the Doom engine. So, it's okay. My El Panion. It also's got fucking voice acting, so there's that. Yeah, I guess it'd be like an ancient 3D Fallout or something. With like with a few branches, so I gotta be mindful of that. And I have this thing where I'm just not quite LPing RPGs because of branching paths. I don't mean just... Yeah, that and grinding. With some other stuff I could do. Yeah, definitely want to LP Blake still one of these days. Maybe even Corridor 7 if I'm feeling really daring. I'd get the CD one. If I can. Not whatever that other thing was in the Wolfenstein 3D engine. I don't want to think about whatever the fuck that is. But Corridor 7 I can at least see myself as doing, because it actually has a map. We're done with this thing. And stuff. Wow. 100%. 100%. 100%. Starting off good with the S rank. I'm going to feel bad about it later when I can't possibly do S ranks, but that tends to be how it goes. It's long, it's hard. This is a nasty episode. I'll see you in the next video.